Hi, I'm Shona. I'm president of the Disability Illness and Divergence Association, a student union affiliated club on campus at University of Adelaide. We welcome anyone with a condition that affects your study, whether or not you identify as disabled or having a chronic illness, mental health condition, or neurodiverse. We also welcome students from other universities and former and non-students, and we encourage people to bring their friends and allies along to our events. We host a range of social and academic events, for example, our movie nights, craft days, writing workshops, and academic skills workshops, as well as advocacy events like our Grievance Fest or our protest audit. Our number one goal is to bring together students with similar experiences, and the community we have built offers amazing validation, reassurance, and solidarity. When someone comes to us, they know that we're going to understand exactly how difficult things can be. And we're going to remind each other that it's not our fault when we struggle. Higher education as a whole is incredibly inequitable for people like us. Now, there's a lot to say about the intersection of disability and poverty at universities or TAFE. At DIDA, we're always conscious of the pressures that come with being a disabled student. It's financial, it's social, emotional, psychological pressure. Disabled students are encouraged by the university to register with disability support and to get a disability access plan. This gives them extensions and accommodations on assignments. And in order to register, students have to have a diagnosis of their condition, and you have to fill out paperwork with a medical practitioner. The burden of that cost and administrative labor does block many students from registering. For that reason, DIDA directs students to resources so that students can help themselves and each other, regardless of if you have formally registered with disability support, and to help you know what to ask for when you do meet with disability support. In our resource list, we offer links to ADSET, which is the Australian Disability Clearinghouse for Education and Training, which has a list of possible accommodations which might help you and which are organized by each condition. So accommodations are also known as reasonable adjustments, if you ever come across those words. So for example, for someone with ADHD, they might list some of these reasonable adjustments and more. And when you're dealing with the cost of medical care and trying to get registered with disability support, knowing that there is advice out there that of what might work for you can take a huge pressure off. Sometimes what you need is not included in your disability access plan, or you don't have one. And DIDA encourages each of our members to reach out to their lecturers and teachers and see if they can organize the accommodations you need. Not many people know that you can do that. You are allowed to organize things yourself. We have this video on our YouTube channel from one of our members on how he successfully self-advocated for the accommodations he needed, which might encourage you to do the same. There are many non-university pressures on disabled students, and not least of all of these are Centrelink, Disability Employment Services, as well as the National Disability Insurance Scheme, NDIS. So I want to point you in the direction of the many disability rights advocacy services, which you can find on Google, which can help you. And they provide information and a little bit of guidance when you come up against barriers and when you need to know your rights and you need to know your options. So search for Disability Rights Advocacy Service, South Australia. Another very helpful service which you can find at your university is the University Specialist Employment Partnerships, also known as USEP. So Sasha from USEP can help you when you are looking for a job or or looking to disclose to an employer. So one of the wonderful things she can do is help you make a disclosure plan. You can find videos from our workshops with Sasha on the DIDA YouTube channel. Another possible assistance for disabled students at university is the emergency grants available through student care. We encourage students to get in touch with the education and welfare officers from student care, and they have helped DIDA members before. At Adelaide, there is also the Alistair McEwen Scholarship, which is available to students with disabilities. This is a competitive scholarship based on financial need and academic merit, and we encourage all of our members to apply. You've got to be in it to win it. Now, a question we often get from students is, where do we go when we have a flare-up of our symptoms, or if we're having an anxiety attack or a meltdown? So where do you go when you need to rest? DIDA is working with the university to get proper, adequate access rooms on campus to serve this purpose. But in the meantime, many of us go to the Bar Smith Library when we need some peace and quiet. We recommend exploring the library on a good day so that you have a plan of where you'll go when you need it. Other spaces that work well are going down to the River Torrens. No one will look twice at you if you are lying down with your eyes closed there. Toilets are less than ideal, but the ones at the top floors of buildings are often the least used. There are park benches spotted around behind the buildings of the art gallery, the State Library, and the Migration Museum buildings. Or you can book a study space in the hub or the Bar Smith Library. And you might plan to do this when you have a stressful exam or a test coming up, and you can go to that quiet room afterwards to relax. We also recommend union and club spaces like the women's room on the top floor of the hub building, or the Rainbow Room, or the Mature Students Lounge. You can find more information about these spaces as well as extra resources for when you're in crisis on the Student Wellbeing website. Finally, I want to really emphasize the value of community to give you some support during difficult times. With community, you can commiserate with others who understand, you can connect with each other, and you can share tips and tricks for things that have worked for you. You can find validation and a safe space. The disability community has so much knowledge between all of us, and we should never forget that. So please look up DIDA on social media or on our website, didaufa.com, where you can see our events and you can see everything we get up to, as well as links to our workshops on YouTube and our resource list. So please sign up as a member today.